and striking out. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation.
Call me your MVP.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Yo, I come from a small city where nothing is handed. Took my talents and made them work for me, look where I landed. I know a lot of those out there really don't want me having it. They just mad that I'm creeping on them and they had advantages. See, when my voice is on, I let my voice be the change. Put it in these communities, let it give them some range. Let them know that they got a shot at anything they want. And it ain't all about the teaching, but really how they responded. And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, not what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it. I am unapologetically progressive in efforts to fight for the people. Gotta exercise our voting rights and then push the needle. I'm walking tall, cause I know that y'all expect me to lead. To push the message I am willing to bleed. I gotta get what I need. That's social reform, that's prison reform. I'm highly informed, don't put down a pen. I got a list, I can't resist. I preach until I talk with a list. And who you know gon' give it to you like this? And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, not what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it.
First and foremost, I want to let our beautiful Danny Mo Show audience know that we are obviously fully aware of the heartbreaking Keenan Anderson footage that was officially released earlier today. It's now streaming on the KBLA socials. The 31-year-old black man who had his life taken by the hands of LAPD in broad daylight by tasing him to death with 50,000 volts of electricity multiple times. But Robin and I never like to do anything halfway. We pride ourselves on gathering all of the relevant information and stepping into the studio prepared. We don't call KBLA evidence-based black-owned radio for nothing. So tomorrow, we will do our due diligence and come in here prepared to have the conversation you were all likely looking for. And I may even reach out to Dr. Melina Abdullah to see if she could call in and give us additional perspective. The Keenan Anderson conversation tomorrow. But let's talk about it. We got a lot to talk about right here. KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show. And for Don Amici, the whole 9 of the nighttime, right at drive time. Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, California. Streaming live on the KBLA YouTube page as we speak. I'm not here to tell you how to think, but I am here to tell you what to think about because we are black in the spot. But first on the scene, so fresh and so clean and really clean today, man. Let's check out what the queen of here. Let's go.
She's your queen to
me. It's not quite.
Why you ain't supposed to interrupt me, though?
I was trying to. If you looked, I was trying to guide you the right way. You know, I too was in the choir myself.
No, you weren't.
Don't play me.
Keep saying
Don't play me.
Does church choir count?
What do you mean? Ask that's. I'm sorry.
When people say you careful. When people say they're in a choir, they usually mean like something off base. You sing for the Philharmonic or something.
No, people mean they go to church and sing in the choir.
Is it?
Learn in the choir, learn harmonies. Yeah, absolutely.
Is it? You think so, Daniel? If somebody says, I'm in a choir.
Choirs are big, man. Remember the McDonald Gospel Fest?
Well, we know that.
I mean, it gives you validity, right?
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Street cred all day.
I'm kidding. I'm assuming you sang, don't tell me, alto.
No, soprano.
You ain't saying no soprano.
See, I don't like it when you start, trying to act like you know.
Then do a little something. We'll wait. Go ahead. Which one sing?
I'm just playing.
Please, no.
I was getting ready.
No. I was
It's
getting
been
scared.
a long time. But I prefer alto, which is funny. But I started in soprano. I sang soprano for like 8 years.
You're also a multi-hyphenate yourself, huh? Is that fair to say?
In terms of?
You are a social influencer.
Okay.
You are a YouTube celeb. You are obviously a host of a radio show. You are a red carpet guru. You are you probably were a blogger at some point, I'm assuming, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do spoken word. You sing, allegedly. You're a
Allegedly, that's funny.
You're a
Come on.
fantastic mom. You are a fantastic wife. You are a pillar in the community. You are an event planner. You are...
Wow.
A Renaissance woman.
A Renaissance
Is that fair?
woman.
Do I got it?
I received that. Yes, I think that's accurate. Wow, that's a lot of hyphenated, titles. But I like it. Thank you.
Go on, make some money off that. Go on, take that. You can do whatever you want.
Take that clip. Thank you.
And alongside Queen Robin, speaking of multi-hyphenates, come on now, motivational speaker, property owner, coach, professional athlete, entrepreneur, and apparently Big Daddy Kane hater.
Oh, that's funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Danny Mo Show. Daniel Griffin, come on, let's go, boy! I got a text about you in that comment you made about Kane.
I love Kane, man.
No, it didn't sound like it yesterday.
Ain't it? Warm it up, Kane. Warm it up,
That's
Kane.
exactly right. So why did you say he wasn't like top? You said he wasn't top 5. You said he might be top 10.
No, he's top 10 for sure. Lyricist, for sure. Guaranteed.
Give me 5 MCs better than Kane. Go.
We got Pac.
Okay.
We got Rakim. We got
Okay.
Karis One.
Uh-huh.
We got Nas.
Okay.
And we got Jay-Z and Biggie. That's 6, right?
You got Biggie ahead of Big Daddy.
No, I don't do order. I just put him up there.
But you would have to if you had to. So
I don't do the order, man.
Biggie can't be ahead of Big Daddy Kane. He only got 2 albums, man. How you gonna do that?
Biggie was nice.
No, he was brilliant.
Yeah, he was good.
2 albums.
Yeah, he was good. Content over quantity.
You know, it's funny we say that. Pac's got 2 albums
Yeah, but at the
while
same
while
time,
alive.
well, that's the issue. Their lives were cut short. So what could they have given us?
Pac does not have 4 albums. If you look back, and somebody check me if I'm wrong on this, Pac put out. No. You're right. He's got
Strictly for my
ends. No, he had. When was Tupacalypse Now? Tupacalypse Now. Strictly for my ends.
All Eyes on Me.
No.
It wasn't All Eyes.
Me Against the World.
Me Against the World. Thank you.
And
All Eyes on Me.
But
And then All Eyes on Me.
So Many Tears, the first album, right?
That ain't
The
no
first-
album, man. That's a song.
Oh, so okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, that song was banging.
But here's what's crazy. Y'all think about Tupac, right? He, you put out that album. He gets out of prison. You know, Suge gets him out of jail, right? They get out here. They do California Love. They say that was really originally a Dre track, and they put that song out. Pac jumps on that song, right? He gets killed in Las Vegas. When did that Machiavelli album drop? Same year.
Is it the same year?
Is that crazy when you think about that? All Eyes on Me is dominating the charts. California Love is #1 on the charts, right? Pac is taken from us in Las Vegas. Months later in the same year, they were like, drop that album, you sure?
That's why there was so much conspiracy around his death.
Oh, saying that he's not gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just to drop an album the same year.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we got off track here. How you doing, King? You good?
Man, I'm doing great, man. You know, hey, this L.A., man. There's a lot of stuff on the news, man. A lot of stuff going on in L.A. Just blessed to be here, man. Working with these 2 seasoned vets.
Oh, look at you, man. You seasoned yourself. Come on now. By the way, we all on the hip-hop conversation. Speaking of which, did you guys see that Billboard and Vibe are ranking the 50 greatest rappers of all time in honor of hip-hop's 50th anniversary? And a few days ago, they released the first 10, 50 to 41. Did y'all see it?
Have not seen it. Not yet.
So tell me what y'all think. Number 50, Rick Ross.
Number 50.
Top 50? Top of all time? Rick Ross?
I would have to see everybody else.
Well,
That's
I
a
got
good
another one.
point.
49, Rev Run. Run DMC.
It's hard to put him by himself without Run DMC, right?
I'd see that's
You can't do that.
You taking my words.
Yeah, you can't do
You just
that.
gonna break him out the group and say that he was
You can't do that.
DMC was a lyricist in his own right?
You can't do that.
48, Melly Mel. Grandmaster Flash in the Furious 5 was legendary, of course, but top 50?
Once again, it's similar. He's part of the Furious 5.
Yeah, but he's a lead. He's
No,
a lead.
he's a lead for sure.
How about this? 47, MC Light. Too low.
Because of the impact she had as representation of female rappers. You can't do that.
I think you could. Light is top 30 to me. Right?
Mm-hmm.
46, Jada Kiss. Too low.
Oh, yeah, that's
Right?
terrible.
I know you.
That one actually blew me back. Wait, what?
Because that's your dude.
Wow.
How high is Jada for you?
Oh, he's up there. He's
Top 25?
Definitely.
You think Jada gets top 25?
Definitely.
Andy?
I love Jada too, but he has no classic albums.
See, we're all going to rate off of different things.
Melly
So
Mel
you
ain't got
guys
no
just-
classic albums either.
You guys just brought up impact for MC Light, right?
That's fair.
And a movement for the women and all that stuff. So we're all going to base it off of different things. Andy always talks about classic albums. You can be the hottest, bar having, lyricist or whatever. But if you don't have a classic album, Andy is going to not give you that type of credit.
It's a fair argument, right?
For me, it's I rate it differently.
Okay. 45, Ice-T. Now, y'all know how I feel about Ice-T.
Yeah.
I think he's the father of gangster rap. I think he's the father of West Coast hip-hop.
That he may be, but then once again, how are you ranking? You get what I'm saying? It's just based on what?
Is Power a classic hip-hop album? I know that album cover is.
That's funny.
Yo. Let's not even get into that. Here's number 44. Queen Latifah. Too low. Latifah's the greatest female MC of all time. Right? She got to be top 20. Doesn't she?
This is interesting.
This is their list. I'm just going
I
off
would
of-
love to take
I'm
that
looking at
same
it now,
list
too, and it's very controversial.
Yes, it
to
is.
say the least.
I would re-rank them.
Here's number 43. Bun B. UGK? Huh? Some would say they got multiple classic albums, if you in the South. You know?
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Pimp C, too, by the way. Number 42, Redman. It's about right. 42, it's about right.
Okay.
Would you have Method Man above Redman?
Oh.
I'm sure.
Yeah, man, this is controversial.
I'm
You
just
can't
saying.
number these people. Just say these are the best. It's tough, man.
And here's the last one, E40, number 41.
That's ridiculous. That's too low. If I were to rank and put myself out there, that's too low.
They should have put him at 40.
They should have put 40 at 40.
Hilarious.
Yeah, we did a show, Daniel, to put you up on game. We did a show on who's on your Mount Rushmore of West Coast hip hop. And I said, Dre, number 1 position. Cube, number 2 position. Snoop, number 3 position. I got 40 at number 4.
Over Too Short, really?
That's the argument
okay.
that we were making.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
You agree with that?
I mean, you got to have Too Short and E40 on the same bill.
I said, y'all gonna share this slide.
Yeah,
y'all gonna be smaller. Y'all gonna be a little smaller than everybody else, but we gonna put y'all up here.
And then you can't. And then it's hard to. You put Snoop. You got to have Quick. I'm gonna add to my Mount Rushmore.
That was another one that we discussed
Quick.
too. You can make the case, were my exact words.
Yeah.
Quick is number 4,
Production.
above E40 and Too Short.
I'm not gonna say above, but Quick is a monster.
You wouldn't put above? You just said production and everything. He got them above both of them cats. What you talking about?
E40 came up with a style that's transcended
That's true.
rap music
Was it influential?
and a vocabulary as well.
But was even that influential?
Captain Saver.
Careful.
Yeah, come on now, you tripping.
Security?
So are y'all comparing right now E40 and DJ Quick?
Yes.
Okay. And I think those are 2 accurate artists to compare just because influential, definitely. All of those things you said about E40, you could say the same for DJ Quick, but I feel like DJ Quick, no, not even that. I think that they're very equal comparisons.
He's underrated, underappreciated. A lot of people don't know
100%.
Quick's, they don't know his catalog in terms of production.
Yeah.
Like, we all know the Babyface, what he wrote and all that, and Kashif, what he wrote and all this stuff, but when you actually look at it, what Quick actually wrote and produced, you're going to be like, oh, my God, this dude
he's
was a bad
underrated.
dude.
We just talked about that. Definitely underrated.
I love how you went Babyface, Kashif.
Man, you know why? Because Kashif was the king of R&B.
I love
in the
him.
80s. Whitney Houston's
weird,
album.
It was a weird.
No, because Kashyyyk was a friend of mine, rest his soul.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, but hold on. But he did
Name
Whitney.
dropping your boy.
No. He was underappreciated as well. He did Whitney's first album.
Yeah.
Very true.
Right? And Janet Jackson sampled a lot of his stuff.
What about Narada Michael Walden was up in there too, wasn't he? Come on now.
I mean,
He did half that album basically, right?
Rodney Jerkins, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis.
Jerkins wasn't on the first Whitney
No,
album.
but I'm just naming all of our black producers, that were out there in this 80s game.
I only put Quick above them because of his, like you said, his production credits. You gotta give him credit, man.
Gotta give him credit.
No pun intended. Yo.
DJ Quick did mention like a month ago that he should be where Dre is.
He
That's
did.
what
We
he
had a
said.
show on it, absolutely.
And
he tells us every week on his socials, by the way, how
I
great
love
he is.
I love Quick, but I probably would give the edge to E40 simply because, and I hate to use the word relevant, I just think E40 has dropped newer music.
True.
That's true.
When you think about My Ghetto Report Card,
Yeah.
which dropped like 2005, 2006. You think about the hyphy movement.
We out there trying to function.
I mean,
Yeah, and
he's
then
still dropping hot records now.
to add to what Andy is saying, that's the point for me, that he's still dropping hot records now, and then he's collaborating with people from all over, right? Quick, as iconic as he is, especially for West Coast, we really know him and know his catalog and his credentials and all of that. It's just not as relevant, for lack of a better word, than E40.
I hate that we're ushering that word
I know.
into the
I hate the
discussion.
word. That's why I said, for lack of a better word. If you can give me a better one, I'll use it. But the
Freaking 21
relevancy.
Savage did that to
I
us.
know. And it sounds so insulting, but I definitely don't mean it that way, because Quick he's iconic. You know what I mean? So
Quick is the name.
Quick
He
is the
told you.
name. He definitely said it.
When we come forward, we set up the entire show. We got a great relationship topic show to bring you. 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. Danny Morrison Show in for Don Amici with Robin Ayers and Daniel Griffin. KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles,
Middays to nighttime.
like George and Weezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
On Sunday, January 15th at 4 p.m., SCLC Southern California presents Moving into the Promise of the Beloved Community at the 52nd Annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Legacy Celebration. President William D. Smart invites you to attend the celebration on Dr. King's birthday, Sunday, January 15th, 4 p.m. at the Sheraton LAX, 6101 West Century Boulevard. This year's event will honor community members who have made a significant impact in 2022, including our own Tavis Smiley, who will also deliver the keynote address. For tickets, call 213-268-3082 or email pastorsmart@sclc-sc.org. That's 213-268-3082 or email pastorsmart@sclc-sc.org. Don't miss SCLC Southern California's 52nd Annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Legacy Celebration, Sunday, January 15th, 4 p.m. at the Sheraton LAX.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
If you need up to $3,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. Get a handle on those holiday bills with the name you trust, WeFixMoney.com. It's free to use, available 24/7, and you are never required to accept any loan offer. At WeFixMoney.com, some lenders offer same-day funding. If you need up to $3,000, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. WeFixMoney.com has been helping customers for 14 years and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. So, if you need cash for credit card bills, car repairs, child care, or anything else, go to WeFixMoney.com. Make sure you type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. Get a handle on those holiday bills with WeFixMoney.com. When looking for cash online, go to the company you trust, WeFixMoney.com. Just fill in the information and get an answer in minutes at WeFixMoney.com. For up to $3,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. A My Social Security account allows you to access your earnings history and benefits information, request a replacement Social Security card, get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Danny Morrison Show, drive time, all the way till 7 p.m. By the way, to tie a bow on the conversation we just had about the list that Billboard and also Vibe Magazine are constructing, 50 greatest rappers of all time in honor of the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. We're basically saying they need to show who is the part of making that actual list. And I wonder how many white people are a part of it. And should that matter? If they showed the list to Billboard and they had 10 people per se, let's just say they had 10 of them, and 5 of them were white people, would y'all say, they don't know what they talking about? Or would you go, it's hip-hop. Everybody knows hip-hop.
No, unfortunately, you will look at the photos and make you would prejudge it. But see, I think that's the exact reason why you shouldn't. You should never release, who these people are, because you're just gonna look at them. You're gonna be like, you're too young. You don't look like you know our music or our culture or whatever. When in fact that may not be the case. And then the other thing is, we don't know what they're basing this off of. We don't know what their what their rubric is, right? And so it's always tough, because if you love hip hop, again, just the 4 of us having this conversation, all 4 of us had our own version of a rubric of how we're judging these artists. Mm-hmm. So if you take a whole board in different ages, different races, everybody's got their own sort of rubric. So it needs to be like standard almost. Mm-hmm. You probably need to base it off of albums sold or classic albums or, your impact, your reach, that type of thing, unfortunately.
Age is different though, Robin. I mean, I'm with you on the racial side.
Yeah.
Daniel, am I tripping? If you 28, 29, 30 years old trying to tell me who the 50 greatest hip-hop artists of all time, get out the freaking room. Stop it.
But, some of these people do their homework and do their research, right? It's like we do our research. We know more than likely the older cars are better, but they don't have Bluetooth and all this new stuff, right? But we know the classic music has more substance than current music. We all know that. But there's some great current artists and great current musicians, right?
Yeah.
But they can't beat the past. No way. No way.
Don't tell them that. Y'all ready to get started? Mm-hmm. Let's do it. I want to preface today's broadcast by letting you all know that there is a method to my madness this week. I wanted Queen Robin and me to come in here and illustrate how we get down on the Danny Mo Show on a nightly basis. That's why on Monday we gave you some political talk by breaking down the inaugural Kevin McCarthy and Hakeem Jeffrey speeches and whether the Republican Party will stay on course and the Democratic Party will stay on brand, or vice versa. On Tuesday, we categorically unpacked Buying Black, controversially, which while attempting to identify, diagnose, and prescribe how to really change the game for Black LA business in 2023. Yesterday, we gave you some entertainment talk, breaking down the 2023 Golden Globes and how a few of its moments in black sent shockwaves throughout Black Twitter and how it relates to us regular black folk in the real world. So, tonight, check it out, y'all. We are unapologetically progressive on the Danny Mo Show while perhaps bringing you related topics related to social justice, but also making you feel better about Black to the future when we offer up tangible solutions regarding the topic of the night. And today, I want to offer up another arrow in our quiver. I understand that in order for many of us to reach that pinnacle of personal achievement, it is imperative that we have someone alongside us to share it with. Yeah, we got 2 brilliant relationship gurus that already blaze up the KBLA airwaves for your enjoyment in Zoe Williams and Dr. Deshauna Johnson. 2 people who I believe are easily 2 of the best in the business. But Queen Robin and I occasionally dip our toes into the cauldron of relationship topics of conversation on relationships too now. And I want us to have a little fun today. So here's what I want to do. There's been a plethora, if you will, of interesting, trending stories involving the complexities of personal and intimate relationships bubbling throughout the black zeitgeist over the past few days that either involve black people directly or correlate with issues regarding the black community. So today, I brought a few that caught my eye, and I figured that we could exchange a little dialogue with each, along with assistance from our listeners on the phones, on the KBLA socials, and on YouTube, and more. Y'all down?
I'm down.
Oh, yeah.
All right. By the way, speaking of which, for those who don't know, my name is Danny Morrison, Danny Morrison Show, and allow me to reiterate that Robin and I have been given the honor and the privilege of sharing these KBLA microphones during this time for the entire broadcast week. To our drive time listeners, you know how we get down. This is a pre-recorded episode, but for our drive time listeners, feel free to call the broadcast. In the meantime and in between time, make sure you like, share, comment. Make sure you tell your friends and family to do the same. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Hi, YouTube. We see y'all.
Hey.
God bless y'all. Also, remember to download that KBLA app to gain even more access to us. You can use the open mic feature if you are scared to call the broadcast. And we just might play it over the air. iOS or Android, it don't matter. It's KBLA app exclusively from KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. You want to blaze it up on the other side? You want to do that, Andy? All right, real quick in these 60 seconds. I have a business brunch, lunch, dinner / I got to go to after here.
Oh.
Right?
Fancy.
And I want to go to a black-owned restaurant. I've been to Post and Bean. I've been to District by GS, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Pips on La Brea. Tell me where to go. Tell me when to go. Tell me where to go. Tell me where to
Fixins is owned by Kevin Johnson, who's African-American.
Been there.
Kai's Table is owned by an African-American chef downtown L.A., which is a block off of by Staples Center.
Give me something right here. Give me something nearby. Give me something in Black L.A. I was thinking about 1010 Wine and Events, because their Thursday nights are fire.
Yeah, they got live music tonight, too.
They
got good food. That stuffed salmon. Ooh,
what's the
fire?
Right here, owned by the
Could you be a little more specific?
Jessica and her husband. I'm gonna look it up.
Tell me on the other side.
I sure will.
And the audience as well. If you guys know a restaurant I should go to tonight, black owned and operated, I will go there tonight and give you my assessment tomorrow.
Perfect.
1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. You're inside the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about right now. News and traffic. Stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The White House is confident the probe into President Biden's handling of classified material following his tenure as vice president will show the documents were accidentally misplaced. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre emphasized the president and his lawyers acted promptly upon discovering of the files. She said the White House cooperated closely with the Justice Department. There's significant damage following a tornado in Selma, Alabama. That's according to the Office of Black Mayor James Perkins Jr. on Facebook. The city asked that everyone stay calm. In addition to staying where they are, multiple counties were put under tornado emergencies by the National Weather Service today as several storms moved through parts of the state. Gas prices have stalled at the pump since the holidays. Last week, a gallon of regular in the U.S. was $3.28 a gallon. This week, it's down a penny to $3.27. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
In the Sepulveda Pass, southbound 405 at Skirball, we've got a work zone that's got the off-ramp blocked off until 3 o'clock this afternoon, and a traffic advisory has been issued for that. In Elysian Park, southbound 5 at the 110, the ramp to the southbound 110 still closed due to damages from a mudslide and the cleanup, and it is jammed up from Fletcher Drive. In Chatsworth, we've still got a closure of Iverson Road between Zaltana Street and Lakia Drive. Also in Beverly Crest, Mulholland Drive remains closed between Summit Circle and Beaumont Drive from storm-related damages.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron James has a big lead in Western Conference voting for the NBA All-Star Game. The NBA announced today that LeBron has over 4.8 million votes to be in the starting lineup for his 19th All-Star Game. The All-Star Game is February 19th in Salt Lake City. LeBron is 423 points shy of breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record of 38,387 points. If Kansas City and Buffalo meet up for the AFC Championship, the title game will be played in Atlanta on Sunday, January 29th. The neutral site is part of the playoff shuffling the NFL had to do because Buffalo played one less regular season game. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
If you're the victim of a car accident, call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review.
Call me your MVP. Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Central Neighborhood Health Foundation is a full-service network of federally qualified health care centers that serves local communities throughout Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. CNHF clinics provide low-cost to no-cost, compassionate, comprehensive, quality health care, which includes primary care services for chronic disease and diabetes management, pediatric and women's services, preventive care, vision and dental screenings, COVID-19 testing and vaccines, flu vaccines, behavioral health, HIV, and substance use services. Virtual telehealth visits are available from the comfort of your home with highly qualified physicians and medical professionals. CNHF also provides peer support specialist training and help with housing navigation. Central Neighborhood Health Foundation. Your wellness is our priority. Comprehensive care built on trust and respect. For more information, visit cnhfclinics.org or call 213-536-5815 today to locate a clinic near you.
Hi, this is Tavis.
Tavis, this is Dr. King. We've got a lot to talk about. I'll be in town on the 28th of February. Can you clear your calendar?
Absolutely, Dr. King. Good Lord, do I have some questions for you, sir. Hi, it's Tavis.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother. This is Minister Malcolm. Now, I heard that you and Martin are getting together for a public dialogue on February 28th. You see, now I already know the date. Now, I know y'all not trying to keep me out of that conversation, are you?
No, sir. No, sir.
What happened to George Floyd shouldn't happen, not even to a dog. How long must the Negro continue to endure this foolishness at the hands of law enforcement? People can take but so much before they reach a breaking point. What do you mean, Black Lives Matter? Black lives haven't mattered in this country since Negroes stopped working for free at the end of slavery. You ought to be talking about Black Guns Matter and start your own NRA. Call it the Negro Revolutionary Amalgamation.
Don't miss this compelling historic radio event, The Return. When Tavis Smiley converses with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Tuesday, February 28th, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let it roll, get roll. I just can't hold back or fold, cause I'm a man with soul.
I knew you were going Kane, man.
What the heck? Rock the discotheques and this groove is
Top 5 MC, come on.
React, exact, the Mac, I move you in. A strong song as long as you groove to it. I keep the crowd loud when you hype. Do damage on stage and into the mic. It's I shoot the gift and see stand stiff. While my rhymes stick to you like Skippy and Jeff. Till my blood fist on my death kiss. The rap solo is.
You don't want none of this. Come on.
Supreme in this era, I reign with terror. When I grab the mic, believe you're gonna hear her. Fascinating rhyme as I enchant camp them. So let's all sing the Big Daddy Anthem. Flow with the flow, my rhymes grow like an afro. I entertain again and cane, I never have no problem. I can sneeze, sniffle, and cough. Even if I stutter, I will still come off. Cause rappers can't understand the mics I rip. They sure enough ain't equipped, that's why they got flipped. But my apparatus is up to status. No ass to the baddest. Of course, that is the maker, breaker, taker. My rhymes take the head, put it to bed. So watch what's said. Play the bass for the pipe and rearrange the tone. I take a loss and be forced in the danger zone. Cause I can ill and kill at will. Teaching a skill that's real, you know frill. So just stand still and chill as I feel. Science I drill until my rhymes fill your head up. Don't even get up. The teacher is teaching.
So just shut up.
Set it off.
That's how Big Daddy Kane set it off. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Obviously a mediocre MC, according to Mr. Daniel Griffin. Oh, he's terrible. Man, just awful. Those Mickey Mouse rhymes he was just putting out, he's terrible, huh? Leave Kane alone. By the way, shout out to the Oracle, also known as Fahima, just DM'd Robin and me a link from theinfatuation.com. 16 new black-owned restaurants in L.A.
Love that.
I'm going to be all over that. That is for sure. But I think we have a winner. What's the name of that restaurant?
Harold and Bells.
Harold and Bells, I'm told, is
classic
the spot.
Staple in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
How has that never come up? No one's told me about that place. And it's a seafood joint, which is right up my alley.
Oh, yeah.
And from what I learned, Jessica, who is the wife of Ryan, it's family-owned business passed down for generations, but they actually have a garden. They grow their own vegetables and things like that. So it's pretty fresh and all of that. So
I might just sleep there tonight.
Nice.
I'm just saying. I hope they're cool with it.
I got live music too.
I sleep naked, so I hope they're cool with it.
No.
Stop it,
I don't
stop it. Y'all getting a little warm. I see y'all.
Where
But
the white
I'm
women
just
at?
saying, if it gets the job done, that's all I'm saying. Y'all ready? Our first story is a story that appears to be gaining a little more steam over the last 48 hours or so, but still hasn't gotten the attention that it deserves. In my opinion, his name is Dana White, right? President of the UFC. Many of you have seen the clip, but Dana was caught on video made public by TMZ for slapping his wife while they were vacationing in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. The video shows his slap came as a retaliation after she slapped him first. Others at the party then intervened, and just this week, Dana White would finally address this whole debacle, and this is exactly what he said. Listen.
I'm sure you guys have seen the TMZ video and seen my interview. It was obviously a horrible personal experience, and, there's no excuses for it. Something that I'm going to have to deal with and live with for the rest of my life. And one thing that I do want to clarify in this thing that I didn't talk about on TMZ because I didn't expect it and I didn't see it coming is the people that are defending me. There's never an excuse. I'm sure you guys have read some of the same stuff that I've seen. Mm-hmm. There's no defense for this, and people should not be defending me over this thing, no matter what. All the criticism that I have received this week is 100% warranted and will receive in the future. So, and you know me better than anybody, if, especially the people that I don't like start coming after me, nobody fires back more than I do. Whatever anybody has to say, everybody has an opinion on this, and they're right to have their own opinions. I was very opinionated on this too, and I still am. It's crazy that I'm sitting here even having this conversation with you guys, but yeah.
My take on this entire thing? Let me be very clear in stating that Dana White is entirely wrong for putting his hands on his woman and entirely right when he says that there's no excuse for it. Yeah, I'm very much aware that women initiate these physical confrontations a lot of the time with their boyfriends and husbands, but I don't care. I don't think there's ever a time to get physical with a woman. Ever. I don't care if she slaps you, punches you, brandishes a weapon, or otherwise. My advice to any man listening is the same advice I give to my sons all the time. Get the hell out of there. Now. But with all that being said, What if Dana White was instead Darnell Washington? What if this was a black man? Would the coverage be far greater? KBLA's own D.L. Hughley definitely believes so. And being that they're married, is this any of our business? And lastly, should a woman who is much smaller in stature and weaponless ever get arrested for domestic violence? I'm taking it to the queen. Andy been begging for us to do this topic.
Yeah.
And we are here today.
Yeah, I feel so many different ways about this particular situation because there's so many different ways to look at it. You can look at it from the scope of a woman starting it. Okay, so let's break down a little bit of what happened.
Yeah.
They were in the club probably drinking. According to him, to Dana, he says that there was a lot of alcohol involved and he doesn't even remember. Now, whether that's true or not, right. I don't necessarily believe that, but she was trying to walk away, it seems, in the initial video, and she turns around and he's trying to grab at her maybe to help to keep her from leaving. She turns around, slaps him, and at that moment he hits her back. From that scope of things, from the woman's standpoint, I always say it is never okay to hit a woman. However, never hit a man, ladies, without expecting him to hit you back. And I hate to even say that because I have a soft spot for domestic violence and men abusing women. That is a trigger of mine. But I still say far too many women think that they can hit a man without him retaliating. I don't agree with it, but that's just the reality of a situation. So you can look at it from that scope. I think she, just was feeling a moment and feeling away, and she slapped him. Now him, of course, bigger in size, absolutely. He should not have even touched his wife. It makes us think, and I've been reading it all up in the comments. People are like, this is not your first time. You did that with ease, brother. Like, you probably, you know what I'm saying? This is probably an ongoing thing, or it's happened before. They've been together for nearly 30 years, and so it could have happened before. The other side of this is the race coin and money. Okay, so if this was, all the Browns that D.L. Hughley was mentioning, he said if it was Antonio Brown, Bobby Brown, Chris Brown, it wouldn't have looked that way. We would have been looking at a man or a woman in jail, having been arrested, or it's certainly more media surrounding this situation. So all of it is just really unfortunate.
Fire. Love everything you just said. I totally agree. But she mentioned Chris Brown. And I am in no way making a correlation between the two. Please don't assume that I am. But Chris Brown, he was arrested, right? Should she have been arrested? If he had called the cops, should she have been arrested? And I know you can't compare the two, but she still committed violence against her own husband. Should men start calling the cops when women attack them first?
Didn't Ron Artest call the cops and they came out and arrested him and thought it was him, but it was his wife?
I don't remember.
I think so. You know what? I'm big on this, man. I was a child in a domestic violence household with my stepdad putting his hands on mine. So I'm totally against it. You don't put your hands on nobody, women or men. And men under any circumstance. I was raised in my house, by a great-grandmother, grandmother, people that was alive in the 30s and 20s. Do not touch women. I don't care what they do, period. Because then how do you make that decision, right? It's no decision to make. Don't touch no woman. Don't flinch, don't touch, no nothing. And women, they should know, don't put your hands on a man either. But it's no justification for it, right? Like, you can't say, oh, I said this. He hit me because I hit him, or I said this to him. No. Women shouldn't move like that, especially African-American women, period. Regardless of what the man, you said to that man, he should never put your hand on it. You don't want to raise our daughters like that. Ain't no excuse for this mess. That's why that's dysfunctional, that's evil, and these people got a problem. It's toxic.
Totally agree with you, too. And back to Robin real fast, maybe answer on the other side. The reason that I'm really passionate about this entire thing, because if a woman calls the cops on a black man, you know what could happen once law enforcement arrives on that scene.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if you lying on that kid, he could lose his life that night. So I want to talk about the seriousness of this entire topic, because, some women, I'm going to call the cops on you. Becky's are doing that to us too. 1-800-920-1580, 1580. We will continue the discussion on a UFC president. He's the president, right? Dana White, inside the Danny Morrison Show. KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles.
Middays to nighttime.
Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Netflix's Strong Black Lead releases a new list for January. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. According to a 2022 study, Black African-American consumers spend an average of 3.5 hours a day watching TV. Interesting. Now let's get to this list of the latest additions to the Netflix library for Netflix's Strong Black Lead for January. Coming in at number 1, Daddy Daycare. Next, The Nutty Professors 1 and 2, Blue Streak, National Security, Mars One, You People, Princess Power, and Life. KBLA listeners, let us know. Will you be watching? Do you also watch 3.5 hours of television a day? How many of you watch via cable? What's your favorite streaming service? Let us know by hitting us up on all social platforms at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The movie moved you, but the stage play will blow you away. It's Jacarius Johnson, New Jack City, live on stage.
Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
They were at the top of their game, but when loyalty and trust takes a hit,
DMB, man, we all we got.
So does survival.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Starring Big Daddy Kane, Stretch from Naughty by Nature, Flex Alexander, the original G Money, Alan Payne, and Gary Dourdan. January 20th through 22nd at the Orpheum Theater. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that when we fight, we win. Community Coalition trains activists and organizers in order to support power building with Black, Brown, Indigenous, and people of color. Community Coalition works to help transform the social and economic conditions in South LA that foster addiction, crime, violence, and poverty by building a community institution that involves thousands in creating, influencing, and changing public policy. Founded by Karen Bass in 1990, Community Coalition was born as an African American and Latino organization with the goal of turning hopelessness and despair into action. The activism of the Community Coalition's members and community residents has almost solely stimulated economic recovery in South LA for decades, generating billions of dollars by redirecting them to South LA schools and foster care. In addition, Community Coalition offers amazing mind, body, soul resources, advocacy, and policy work, and has a robust and active membership body. To become a member, get a referral, or get support for your nonprofit, visit cocosouthla.org. That's cocosouthla.org, or call 323-750-9087. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. I was able to speak with one of the panelists, the owner of Kids Love. Take a listen.
So Kids Love, KIDSLUV, is a first-to-market zero-sugar, vitamin-enhanced functional beverage for kids.
So the zero sugar is really important because if not, the sugar gets on the teeth, it can cause cavities. So as a mom, I love this vitamins and hydration in one. Tell us what's happening here with Chase Bank today.
So I would say, I think what Chase is trying to do is create a community actually for entrepreneurs, a place where people can go. They have the space to do it. It's a beautiful space. And to be able to have these conversations. There are so many benefits to being a women-owned and certified business, from a standpoint of getting into stores, not paying the slotting fees of what it takes to be in stores. So I think Chase is trying to bring awareness to a lot of the things that people just don't know about, that not only the bank can help, but outside of the bank, their relationships can help create.
That's beautiful. And I know, this is how we build equity in communities of color, is kind of spreading that information and that knowledge. So thank you for being here today and doing your part and letting these women know that it is possible. For KBLA 1580, I'm Maisha Cairo in the community with Chase.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, sir. Discussing Dana White, president of UFC, and his wife had a an altercation over New Year's. And the entire conversation we are having today is, how does that relate to black men that always get falsely accused, it seems, when there's a domestic violence situation? And there's somebody on YouTube that asked a great question, right?
Yeah, there are actually several questions. Penny Thompson says, legally, would she have went to jail for hitting him first? That's regarding the Dana situation. And then Deborah Chakoa says, can someone be arrested for domestic violence against the wishes of the offended party? And I think that's such a good question, because how many times does either someone calls the police, or maybe you did in the height of the moment, you called the police on him, and then they come, and it takes a while for the police to show up, and 2 hours. That time, okay, well, depending upon where you are, in that time, you may have changed your mind, you may have come to your senses, you may understand what the ramifications are, so you don't want the police to arrest him, or you don't even want them to come. But if they do show up, and you no longer want to press charges or anything like that, and it's against your will they have to take him regardless, just because you called? Or are they, does it matter if you have any bruises on you, like that type of thing? That's a really good question.
So Robin, if I am in a relationship with a woman, and let's say we live in an apartment complex with some thin walls, and everybody hears our altercation taking place, somebody in the apartment complex calls the cops. The cops show up at the door. I open up the door. Boom. They go after me, obviously. And by the way, just for the record, they always should go after the man as soon as they get to whatever residence, right? But here's the thing. What if she has no bruises on her at all? None. And she goes, no, false alarm. No. Do they still take that cat?
I don't know that they can, based off of just hearing chaos and people calling the police because they think something is going on. I don't know. I don't think you can do that.
It's
right?
allegations, though, and sometimes you got to go get checked for bruising.
No, but she's saying no. She's saying it didn't happen.
Well, some people have bruises on them visibly, and they try to say, "Oh no, it's fine," and they still arrest her.
I think that's different. If you see
you gotta take advantage.
Yeah, if she's physically somehow you can see it on her, she's being abused or has some physical cuts, bruises on her, I think they have to.
And if you're under distress, right? If you're under distress and somebody called a distress signal and put 911, they have to do more than just see if it's a bruise. I mean, they have to investigate, right? They always talk.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they always talk to them to see what's going on.
She's not gonna let you do it.
Well, she doesn't have a choice. When the police get there and they see something, she no longer has a choice.
Yeah, but they can't check her body. That's infringing on her personal rights, right?
If they see
they'd have to see it without checking her.
That's what I'm saying. They can't physically go, I don't believe. I think they have to see it on you that you have some bruises physically on you. The people just called under a different circumstance where she looks fine and she's like, no, I think they can sort of maybe interrogate her a little bit more, because she might be saying that under duress. I mean, you never know if somebody's holding her hostage behind the door, so you've seen those types of videos though where police are like, are you sure, ma'am? Can we come in? Can we check out everything? Now she'd have to give permission, is my belief, but I think they would just push it a little bit further to find out if she really is.
There's no doubt. But what also happens is, what happens from the moment that woman wakes up or steps up and dials 911, boop, 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 she's calling, oh my God, he's hitting me, he's doing whatever, right? Baby, they gonna take me to jail. Baby, you gonna let them come in there and take me to jail? He's begging from the moment that phone hangs up to the moment the cops get to the door. So now she's all smoothed out once they get to the door.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be like, we can't take him in if you don't tell us exactly. Nothing happened.
Well, I can tell you about a real good story.
Story time with Robin, Andy. I love it. We got about a 3-minute story?
I can do it in a little bit less. I can do it a little bit less.
Go for it.
So there was a woman, a black woman. She has kids and living with her white boyfriend, live in a great neighborhood, all of this stuff. And they get into a physical altercation. She says, I'm calling the police on you. This is a black woman who's familiar with the system, knows what it's like to call the police on a man. And sure enough, because she is the one who initiated the call, the police came and they arrested him. They detained him. He is in the back of the car and he's like, I have this all on video. let me show you the video. Just please let me show you the video. So they were getting ready to take him, totally taking her side. It's a sides game, too. She didn't show any physical harm or abuse or anything like that on her, but it was just her word, and she's the one who made the call. But he convinced them to let him show them the video, and he did, and everything on the video showed that she was the aggressor. So she was throwing things at him. She was completely physically coming at him, abusing him. He did not touch her one time. She wound up going to jail.
Does Terrence get that benefit of the doubt? Do those cops listen to Terrence? They'll listen to Brad. Will they listen to Terrence?
It makes you think. This was, like I said, it was a very nice neighborhood. The home, obviously very nice. You can walk up and tell that these people have money, and this is a white man who we've detained. It makes you think, would the circumstances have been any different had he been, like you often like to call this guy Terrence, right? The black dude, Terrence, who could be in the hood.
He's my protagonist, my black protagonist. His name's Terrence.
Like, Terrence.
He's a good-looking cat, you know what I'm saying? Just really, he's sexy.
So it makes you think. I think if Terrence has the wherewithal to make it, to be calm, to try his best to communicate to the officer, it also depends on who the officer is, his temperament, right? Because some officers are just like, we know who we deal with out there. So if you get the right officer, hopefully Terrence can convince him to let me show you the video.
That moment of truth is a crazy thing.
Yeah.
It's like, man, cops get that. Maybe she is under duress, at that door. Maybe she doesn't want to answer questions because he said, if they take me to jail, I'm gonna get out and do boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But the cops at the same time are like, once we walk away from this door, if you ain't gonna tell us nothing, you're on your own.
It's taboo calling the police in our community anywhere or anything. Matter of fact, where I grew up, if the police came for any reason, certain members on the street want to find out who called the police. Like, that was a huge thing, and that's why a lot of people talk about black on black crime and all this stuff in our communities, but a lot of people, it's like an understatement, underlying thing. Don't call the police for nothing. If you find out, you call the police, you're like, y'all gotta move.
I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that narrative so much.
Fahima's making a great point in this YouTube. She says it depends on the jurisdiction and often the attitude of the popo if they're black.
Popo?
If that's not a whole bar, that's a bar right there.
But what I mean by sick of the narrative, I'm sick of us saying, don't call the cops, don't call the cops.
Yeah.
When crime happens in our neighborhood, especially the murders, we ain't got nothing to say. We can't have it both ways.
And then in other communities, they quick to tell everything, and then they at the neighborhood watch meetings, PTA and all the, if a crack is in the sidewalk, they call it. In potholes.
You know how many cold cases I know? You know how many funerals I've been to?
Oh, it's terrible,
and
man.
they still don't know who did it?
That's terrible. And people know, but they don't want to say
They
that.
always know.
Yeah.
So don't talk to me about don't call the cops. I ain't got time for that now.
I understand.
If we don't want the cops involved, then let's police our own communities. We gonna do it? Are we down?
Oh, yeah, we do it.
No, we're not.
Well, I know one thing. I got a letter in the mail for watering the grass, and I was watering the sidewalk, and I got a letter from the water company. The neighbor told on me about watering the thing, so they're going to tell about anything else.
1-800.
Depending on where you live, boss.
You 6'8", man. They going to call the cops on anything. They're like, he out there. Yeah, that ain't a water hose. He out there peeing on the lawn. Is what that is.
Hilarious.
News and traffic right now. We go to the next story on the other side. Danny Mo Show. Stay there.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The federal government is dropping its appeal involving 2 former Minneapolis police officers convicted of violating George Floyd's rights during his murder in 2020. The 8th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals acted on the request from federal prosecutors in the cases of J. Alexander King and Tutow. The California city of Temecula will no longer recognize Black History Month. The city council says the declarations will come